The Process of Communication by Sandy Subzuari, Kim Valdez, and Roseanne Noor.
What actually happens when people interact with one another? When first studying about interpersonal communications, researchers believed that the process was a one-way system. This described communication as a back and forth mode. This model was called the linear model as they believed communication was like a line of communication. But now it is believed that communication is continuous rather than linear. The linear model helped build communication as we know today. There are concepts that are used from the linear model that are used today. These concepts include a sender, who is an individual who is the source of the message. A message can be sounds, words, or even behaviors. There is a receiver, who is the target or recipient of the message. The sender must think of a message. This process is known as encoding. There are many different mediums that a message travels, such as emails, letters, or a phone call. These are all known as a channel. Once the receiver obtains the message, they must decode what the sender expressed. Communication is not perfect. There are external aspects that may interfere with the communication process. This is known as noise. There are three different categories of noise: external, physiological, psychological. Now let's look at these individually. External noise. For example, this includes loud music and language barriers. This type of noise can affect any part of the linear model. Physiological noise. This, for example, includes illness and fatigue. This involves biological factors of the sender or the receiver. Psychological noise. This includes feeling stressed or nervous. This type of noise affects the understanding of the message. The concept of environments is also used within the linear model. Environments allow individuals to understand others' behaviors. This includes the physical, personal, and cultural background that the individual may possess.
Honey, what do you say we invite my parents to visit for the holidays?
Yes!
Great. Maybe we can fix up the house some.
All right!
Yeah, a new vanity in the guest bathroom, a new chandelier, new area rug, and maybe we can paint the walls a nice ochre.
Oh, come on!
Okay, it doesn't have to be ochre.
Clip is an example of the linear model, where external noise and visual distractions cause the messages to be decoded incorrectly.
Interpersonal communication is a two-way street. This is why the linear view does not apply to the way we communicate. A better understanding to the way we interact would be transactional communication. Transactional communication involves senders and receivers, just like the linear view, but has taken into account that both the senders and receivers decode messages simultaneously in a back and forth manner, just like a two-way street. Linear communication, on the other hand, suggests that the messages are encoded one after the other in a one-direction manner. In transactional communication, there is constant feedback from the receiver and the sender. For example, if you are talking to someone and a subject that you are uncomfortable discussing comes up, the sender will notice from your body language and facial expressions that you are uncomfortable. From this, we can determine that no single discrete act of communication can be isolated from what came before the conversation or what will come after. The constant feedback during communication are reactions to the dynamic of the relationship of the sender and receiver, and their future relationship will depend on the outcome of their present communication. Unlike with the linear view of communication, not all messages need encoding. Nonverbal cues, such as facial expressions, gestures, and postures, can influence people unconsciously, and they don't involve encoding. Like the example, the nonverbal cue of your discomfort changes the topic quickly to something more enjoyable. For these reasons, the transactional model is a better understanding of communication as it occurs in interpersonal context. Within the transactional model, the encoding is replaced with behaviors to encompass the broader interaction between sender and receiver. It encompasses the deliberate along with the unintentional actions. With this understanding, communication can be defined as a continuous transactional process involving participants who occupy different but overlapping environments and create relationships through the exchange of messages, many of which are affected by external, physiological, and psychological noise.
I thought you were making an effort with Spencer too. It's like this is the whole hardest thing.
I am making an effort.
I know.
I'm making an effort, and then he does it like he did last night. He's a sucky person. He's a sucky person.
Lauren.
I hate Spencer. I'm never gonna like Spencer. He did a really messed up thing.
This is an example of the transactional view, where both Heidi and Lauren are given simultaneous feedback in a continuous cycle.